A morning in the life of a personal trainer, just the workout edition, not my whole life. That's weird. Come on, let's go. I feel like that show, MTV Cribs. Welcome to my gym. It is going to be outfitted soon with a 3-in-1 wooden box and a wonderful adjustable bench. That should amplify our joy. Right now we're doing it well. So recently I've been putting a lot of thought into perfection and comparing myself to others and others to others and just normal human things. We're all human, right? We don't have to be perfect. I strive with perfectionism every day of my life, not in a way of like, oh, I'm so great, but more of a feeling that innately I want to do everything perfectly. And then when I don't, you go to the other side of the spectrum and you say, all right, I just don't want to do it anymore. I'm not going to do it at all, instead of trying and knowing that I am human and I am prone to not do things perfectly. The other side of that coin, though, is comparing ourselves to others. As a personal trainer, I got this all the time. And even people that, I want to lose 50 pounds. Okay, well, how did you do this week? Well, I only lost half a pound. Okay, well, you did great. You're still on your journey. You're on your goal. You're getting closer week by week. We are not at our goal yet because we are not, that's why it's our goal. Otherwise, you'd have a different goal. It's okay to not be at your goal yet. Otherwise, again, you'd have to reset your goal. The point of a goal is generally is to have a lofty idea of where you want to be in the future. I hope, pretty much goal setting 101. Do something that you think is within reason and then put your best foot forward to do it. It's hard when we compare ourselves to others, especially with all the things that we get bombarded with on social media about how things should be easy and how everyone shows just their good side. I'm gonna try and edit some of these videos, but I'm still gonna keep a lot of the me changing the plates because it's not, a snap and all of a sudden what TikTok or Instagram will show you where everything's just magically in place and the lifting's easy. It's a struggle someday to get out here and get into exercise mode, just with a young child and just getting up, even though it's within my own garage, it's within my own house, 15 feet from my kitchen. It's still just sometimes a struggle, but I try and just make sure I can do it. The other side is comparing. So I have a 9-month-old daughter, almost 10 months old, not that that really makes a difference, but feeding her more solid foods. So what I see on social media is people, here's a day in the life of what I feed my 9-month-old. Here's what I feed my 10-month-old. Here's what I feed my, 16-month-old. Doesn't even matter. These are people that is their job. They are specialists for children and they know what to do. I am learning. It's like when they say, you go to the hospital and you leave with something that you have no idea what to do with it. Part of what I have to realize from my own journey, and I'm trying to be okay with it, is being a good father. Being there for my daughter. Thankfully, I get to spend a lot of time with her now, but also realizing that I don't know as much. And thankfully, there are a lot of resources and apps to show me what I can do and how to present, the food to my baby. But I'm comparing myself to people that they get paid to do this. It's like someone coming in and comparing gym numbers to me when it's, their first 8 months, 9 months of on the job, working out. They probably wouldn't have the same just instant knowledge that I would have at a gym. So I try and keep that in mind. Hopefully that's a good parable to show you, that it's okay. It's okay to not know, as long as you want to try, put your best foot forward. And I'm trying to do that and trying to be creative. And sometimes it feels overwhelming. You have this child that can't tell you what they want and you have to kind of know what their body needs. And it's, there's a lot of parallels to exercise and that you have to tell your body what it's going to do. And it's going to respond through soreness and be upset with you. But in the long run, just like children grow up and they can tell you what they want and they can tell you what they don't want, our bodies are going to respond and say, I'm stronger, I'm faster, I'm leaner, I am in better cardiovascular shape if you just do the work. Even if you don't do 100% the proper form, you still likely, just like if I don't give my daughter everything that she needs and every single day, she still is developing, she's still chatty, she is a wonderful little girl. So we can compare ourselves, we do compare ourselves to others, and we compare ourselves to versions of our own self. I know I'm, again, guilty of that. Being, Dixie, sorry, dog. Being in a different state, being in a different environment, just getting settled here for 2.5 months in Tennessee is great. I love it where I am, but I'm still getting used to a new lifestyle. I don't have many friends here. You know, I grew up in Virginia and spent my whole life there, so that's all I knew. And not to say that that's an excuse, but I found it's been very easy to get lazy here. So I'm comparing myself to my past self. And you know, past me was working as a personal trainer in a gym and getting 15,000 steps just by showing up to work. And so I was in super good health, not getting winded from doing a set of power cleans. But here we are, and hopefully this will just provide a springboard, because I know that me making these videos means that I have to do the work. And hopefully you can see that my transparency is redeeming in a way. So in that way, we can all be on the same journey, because you know, it's the phrase enough is enough. It's kind of like for people who really hit their low, and I wouldn't say I'm hitting a low, I just want to get better. It's annoying to be comparing yourself, but that little voice in our head will always be there to say, oh, like I used to be able to do 325 pounds on a clean, squat clean, but you know, nowadays it's, you know, I'm 30, almost 35, getting up there in age, and that was a much younger version of me. So I'm trying to tweak life to reflect where I am. And I mean, I will say that I'm happy overall. I don't mean to sound like a downer about my own life, like, oh, I'm only cleaning 185. Wow, you know, boo-hoo. But you know, it's where we all are comparatively in our own heads. Of, you know, we always remember the best version of ourselves. We don't remember how we got there. And so I hope that this will remind me that it's okay to, and you know, remind you that it's okay to compare yourself, but in a way that's not gonna be poking yourself in the side and saying, you used to be so good, don't even try, because I'll never get up to 325, and that's okay. I mean, I don't think I ever really want to, but we'll see. Oh, those are tough. So those are hang power cleans. They are very explosive. You only go to the knee, go up to the shoulder, catching it, receiving the bar, and it's very technical. Kind of what I'm doing is a little bit more brute than the full clean. It's tough just because it's such a full body explosive exercise. I guess we can talk form. I do want to kind of keep this video as a vlog, if you will. I hate that word. But I feel like my strength is more in the actual explanation rather than a 30-second short on Instagram or YouTube or something. So when we do a clean, obviously we're gonna have to first deadlift the bar up. Weight stays back in the heels. Feet for my clean is pretty much hip width, maybe a little bit more narrow. Toes are pointed straight. When I grip the bar, I set my shoulders down and back, so I almost feel like I'm bending the bar, so in that way I can retract my shoulders. I want to keep my head looking forward, so in that way I can keep a pretty neutral spine. It's a little bit different than a full clean and how I get to the top. I am hinging, so in that way I can take the bar to the top of my knees. As I drive my hips through, I'm getting into a little bit less than full triple extension here. So triple extension would be extending the hips forward, extending the knees to straighten you out, and then the ankles would be the triple part. I'm not really getting super awesome triple extension because I'm just trying to get the power out of it rather than the explosive high pull on the clean. So yeah, we'll do another set of 5. I like doing explosive Olympic lifting in sets of 3 to 5 just because it is so technically and physically demanding that I don't want to have that break down too much. Like on the 5th rep there, I felt that it was not as good, so 185, so I wanted to stop. So hopefully this glimpse into my thought process too will also help you as you do your exercise to understand what to think about and what to be feeling in terms of weight distribution and shifting. If I ever feel like mid-set is really going haywire, I will either put the bar down and that will be the end of the set, or I'll put the bar down, take 15 seconds, 20 seconds, whatever, regather myself. If it's a technical thing, I'll just hopefully try and fix it before performing the remainder repetitions. So the nice part about making these videos is that, one, I'm actually doing the work and then going to talk about it, so it's fresh. I don't like the idea of doing an exercise and then filming it, doing a voiceover or something, and then it's later in the day, so it's fresh in my head how I feel, and I feel very tired actually. Those were good. I felt pretty good. And one thing with technical work is that make sure you do a proper warm-up. As I get through more sets, I find that my technique does get a little bit easier. So 185 to 205 was easier. The percent jump through the warm-up shouldn't be that high. So most people, if they're going to do 205, it'll be bar, 135, 185, 215, or 205, excuse me. I did bar, 95, 2 sets. I'm not gonna show those. 135, 185, and 205, because I have the proper technique, and I think that it's not as big of a jump for me compared to a novice who's just trying to learn. Technically, you'll get more proficient because your body gets acclimated to what the movement is as you're doing it. So the warm up for me is more mental oftentimes than it is physical. This time it was physical at 185. I felt forward in my feet. I'm not wearing my lifters actually. Forgot, I guess. I don't. Because I'm not really squatting, I generally like to use my lifters because they have the heel for if I do a squat. These are just power up at the front rack, so I don't really feel like I need to. And again, this is a perfect length video because at the time I finished my thought, it's about the time I'm gonna get back to the next set, so it's about 2 minutes, maybe 2.5, depending on if I'm feeling verbose or just lazy to do the next set. So I decided mid-set or mid-exercise, I didn't want to do that last set. This is just actually me going to be lazy. But I also, working out from home, probably can't see me, working out from home becomes a challenge because I just found myself literally in our little garden area picking weeds because all of a sudden I had to go out. My wife texted me there was something out here, and all of a sudden I saw something, and so my adult ADD said, let's pick this other side of the garden for a few minutes. So because I went away from doing it, I'm not primed anymore to do it, so I'm just gonna move on to the next part, which is gonna be a set of bent over rows and pull-ups. I'm probably gonna do those actually inverse. So I'm gonna do pull-ups first and then bent over rows as a superset, where I go immediately from the pull-ups to the bent over rows. Bent over rows is gonna be 135. And I'm gonna do both of these at 8 reps just for fun. Hopefully I don't land on the bar. Hopefully you can see me. All right, nice, smooth, easy, full range of motion. I guess talking through each of them. Hopefully I can count 2. That's 4, 5, 6. So there's 2 kinds of people, those who count in their head and those who count out loud. I, believe it or not, am not one of those who counts out loud. I find that to be weird, although I did it there, so I guess I'm weird. So for here, it's just up to mid-knee, pulling in. I can't talk here, otherwise my form's gonna suck, even though I can feel it already does. So that time I can feel my form breaking down on the rows. Not that this is an excuse, but I have a rear delt issue that I've been dealing with that hinders, and I can't. Only recently could do a good overhead press. So that's why a lot of my videos don't have too much shoulder in it, because it hurts every single time I do it. And so I've been trying to, if you see, I have cups, marks on my back. I've been trying to work my way back into health. And believe it or not, yes, even professionals who do this for a living can still get injured. We are not perfect. And it's not an overuse thing, I don't think. I just think it was maybe it was, I don't know. it wasn't a sudden injury, so I guess maybe it is an overuse thing. So the importance again of warming up and stretching. I do a lot of banded external rotations now to make sure one of the most vulnerable joints, the ball and socket shoulder, gets the TLC that it needs. Cool. So I just started watching back one of the videos and I realized, man, my hair is getting out of control. And a lot of it comes down to time management. Having a 9-month-old means that my day is blocked into probably 3-hour blocks. And 2 hours and 30 minutes of those per each one is keeping her awake, feeding her, and just having fun. And then I get about an hour and a half of a rest. So if I was to go and cut my hair, which I haven't, obviously, it takes probably about an hour. So that would mean getting there and back. I'd have 15 minutes to either eat or change, work out, bathe, and life, you know, do all the things that we do. So I think I'll just have my wife cut my hair. She likes to do it, and truth be told, it's 3 settings on the clipper, so it's very hard to mess up, which grows back, at least for now. It kind of grows back in certain spots. So after this set, I don't know why, but I'm gonna do a tour of my areas. Obviously the gym behind me, I'm not gonna do a tour. You can see it, this is pretty much it. Got the squat rack, the dumbbells, the kettlebells, the wonderful seat that everyone needs in their own gym. But in terms of my yard, and it's a beautiful day here, so I also need my vitamin D. I haven't really spent too much time outside except for the morning walk with the dog and the baby. So next set here, still 8 and 8. Not gonna count out loud and be a weirdo. A big breath. Oh, that did not get any easier. So despite what I said earlier about taking your time and resting between sets if you find your form sucks, in a superset, that's kind of my goal, is to break through that bad form, because this weight, 135, not a terribly heavy weight, but after doing pull-ups and cleans, I'm a little bit fatigued. It's just my central nervous system's a little tired. So the goal is to just get through the work. Kind of case in point is just me suffering through it. Yeah. Let's go on that tour. So it is a beautiful day here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Got our wonderful view from the cul-de-sac, front of the house. Things are blooming. Tennessee's wonderful, but they don't lie when they say it is the popular allergen capital of the United States. I think I have to take like 2 allergy pills a day just to make sure I can actually go outside and not have too rough of a time. Yeah, I apologize for selfie mode, but hey, here we are. Again, I need to shave my face, get a haircut, all the fun things. It's okay. We got time. So I got a big backyard. Hopefully we'll outfit it one day. Dog's following us. We'll outfit it with stuff to play with for our daughter Victoria and ourselves. I'll show you in a minute here where it's kind of angled but flat in a certain spot so we can really have a good time, maybe get a soccer goal or something cool. So we got plenty of trees, plenty of green, nice long, luscious, take me forever to lawn mow, grass area. So maybe get some outdoor games. A lot of people in their neighborhood, they have, someone even has a disc golf. I've seen the chains hung up with a little disc golf thing. If you don't know what that is, don't look it up, it's not worth it. Got a little back porch patio where I enjoy sitting out till my eyes and throat start to get irritated. Got the grill, got the table, the outdoor furniture, all shaded. It's very nice, very happy.